Happy New Year. Welcome to Weekly Recap. I am your host, Vivian Cabono. This is the show that brings you a recap of what has been happening locally and internationally in this week. This show is brought to you by NewsunplugKE. Kindly do subscribe, like, share, and comment. Stay tuned. Thank you very much, dear viewer, for being together with us from 2023 when we started this show, and we do not take it for granted. And let me just give you a recap of what was happening mwaka uliopita ndio tujue where we are headed, right? They say that we have to look at the past to know where we are headed. So last year, okay, we had a lot of tragedy news, and it's quite unfortunate, and I pray that this year will be full of good things. And yeah, I am praying so much for that. And last year, let us look at news like, first of all, Kawera Mwangaza. Kawera Mwangaza is the lady who knows what resilience is. I mean, she's still in the last time I checked, walikuwa wanasema that they will move pamoja. Can you imagine, even all the MCAs that had voted against her, they're now on her side. So you remember we checked about Kawera Mwangaza, and right now she's into the government, and she's doing well. Also, we checked about the finance boss, the hospital finance boss, Eric Maigo, who was killed, and also the floods that were happening in Mombasa, the accidents that were happening, and I mean, also international news, especially with the Ukraine-Hamas war that was happening, and a lot has been happening. We also looked at the Queen of Tequila. You remember that lady who from scratch started, and now she's doing well at do you call it Mexico or Mexico? Dear viewer, comment and tell us what is the word. Anyway, thank you so much. We do appreciate you. Stay tuned as we start this new year. Happy New Year, an year of abundance. On to our first story this week. So there has been a person who was actually pretending to be Mike Sonko, and the police has caught up with him. So Newton Paul from KCSE was 29 years old, and he went into the social, most especially Facebook, and started telling unsuspecting parents to send 1,000 shillings for a loan, an education loan that is happening under Sonko's regime or something. So Sonko is the former president of, the former governor of Nairobi County. And he went to the police and reported the case because this Newton was running different Facebook accounts, and people who were actually sending a lot of money, because you can imagine if you're told to send 1,000 shillings, okay, I don't know, but if you're told to send 1,000 shillings to be given a loan, which by the way, he was saying that does not accrue any interest. So wewe ukitumia dhao yako unapewa loan na haitakuwa na any interest, so you will just return the money as you got it. And the netizens were actually sending good money. So I think Sonko got that story and he went to the police. And actually the DCI from Nairobi said that they will look into the issue they have made to get him. They actually located him from Nairobi to KCSE in the village, and Wakamshika arrested him and also got the phone that he was using and several SIM cards that he was using to danganya these people. So allegedly what Newton used to do, he texts you, tells you about these, and then now after you've given him the details, because you have to give him the details for him to give you the loan, so you have to send the ID, the names, the location, those important details. So he will start calling a lot of times, telling you send money. And then after you send money, now he turns and says, now it is patience that pays. So patience pays. Sindia, lakini this money will never be gotten. Anyway, after the DCI, Mohammed Amin, who is he's part of the Directorate of Criminal Investigation, he said that they are going to look into the matter and they will take him to court as soon as possible. And even Sonko on his social said that the police have done a good work. Na akasema hawawezi, siku zao hazikuwa mbali. So hey, let us not don't be like anybody else, you know, just do something for yourself. Also conning money, pesa ya wizi haiendi mbali, ama ni aje. Anyway, still on to the political issues. The MP of Lang'ata, Jalang'o, talked about this story. We actually covered it on our page. Kindly check it out at NewsunplugKE. The death of Starlet. Wahoo. It is quite a very unfortunate death. And also we even covered the story of John Matara, who is actually an alleged serial killer, because a lot of women came out to say that they have also been violated by this John Matara. So the MP of Langata, Jalango, came out and talked to the bloggers. He was actually a comedian turned politician. Talked to the bloggers and told them that Starlet didn't do any mistake. The only mistake that she did was trusting a person who was not trusting a stranger, trusting a person who she did not know well. And that was the only mistake that she did. Okay, there are people who are coming and saying, mwiba wa kujiletea haona pole, but honestly, as much as it was through a dating site, the tagged, honestly, let's be honest, a lot of people are doing things out here, but as long as you trust a person and you know a person well, doesn't end out to be something so bad. So I'm just hoping all will be well. And actually, Jalango, the reason why he was speaking is because of the Airbnb. Even the chairman of Airbnbs in Nairobi said that the Airbnb didn't have anything to do with it, because there was actually the date of the murder, there was no hiyo room haikuwa imebukiwa, and they didn't even have the account of this person, this suspect, this John Matara. So the Airbnb didn't have anything to do with this matter. But Jalango said that they will now check into this matter, and BNBs are supposed to be registered so that they can know the names of the owners, na ndio pia waweze kuregulate. Sijui kama wanajaribu pia kupata taxes hapa, but I will not say. Let me not count my chicks before they hatch, but I hope the bill will be passed. On to our next story. So I don't know if you remember Tuesday. Jamani, Tuesday kuna watu kimewaramba. And Kenyans wanaishingi tu kujoke. Kenyans will always joke. Anyway, what I'm saying is that Safaricom has denied allegations of integrating with KRA, so Safaricom PLC. Rumors were going around that after the blackout, not the delays that were happening in M-Pesa on Tuesday, that there's a possibility that Safaricom and KRA have integrated, but the Safaricom finance officer, Esther Waitito, came out and said that they operate. Safaricom and KRA are different entities, and they operate under data. There's some data should be protected, so Data Protection Act, and your information is not supposed to be leaked to any person. So they're saying that Safaricom na KRA are different entities, and they do not merge at all. Also, she says that what was happening let me brief you. So on Friday on Tuesday, for a few hours, there was a delay of M-Pesa, and when you sent a message, it could have brought you a message that this information or the information that you have entered is null. So transaction were not happening, and you can imagine kama ulikuwa umeenda kwa hoteli ukakula, and then since Safaricom is not doing that thing, you can imagine. But wakasema it was just some issues that was happening, and all was sorted. So the way I was saying, Kenyans love to joke. So Kenyans walikuwa wanaambia, yani kuna mtu mwenye hajajua hakujua on Tuesday kulikuwa na shida ya M-Pesa, na ashtuki this person is very comfortable. Anyway, probably we need to upgrade. And also on Saturday on 13th January, so sijui kama watu wenye walituma pesa waliona, but the transaction code is starting with SAD. SAD, SAD something. There's another time that they brought RIP something. But anyway, Safaricom, they offer good services, and I hope akutakuwa, because by the way, M-Pesa ikifail, a lot of backlog happens, especially with the business and everything. Moving on swiftly before we go shortly on a break. There has been a case at Siaya, and it's quite unfortunate. Okay, it's quite unfortunate actually. So Adhiambo, Gloria Adhiambo is a student who was 14 years old. She scored 389 marks from Siaya, and you can imagine that's good marks, eh? So Adhiambo was called to Lenana Boys School. The letters have been, maletters imetumwa, watu wanaambiwa wa join shule, and she went to the cyber to download that invitation letter, and she finds she has been called to a boys' school. So she applied for Alliance High School, Starehe, those those good those poshy schools, and she was called at Lenana Boys. Okay, so I'm actually wondering, What happened? Ndio akaitwa. Hey, dear viewer, please comment and tell us. Why do you think Gloria was called to a boys' school? Is it because... No, her name... Okay, let's not even talk about the face. Because actually in the Western places, most girls have shaved their hair. In fact, even some schools have a policy where you have to shave your hair clean. So, I don't know why the people in charge of that decided that Gloria should go to a boys' school, but I hope they are checking out on that. And also when she was speaking to a radio station, she was saying that she is really struggling also, and even the parents are worried because they do not know how they will raise the school fees, because all the scholarship applications that they have sent have not worked, and they're praying that at least the well-wishers, she's actually calling out for the well-wishers to come and promote her and also help her to join school. She's looking forward to join Kisumu Girls, and I hope all will be well for her. And it's actually good that she is determined to focus on education. I believe that an empowered woman is just an amazing lady. So I hope that she will be empowered and she will find the school fees. And hey, Gloria, the future is bright for you, so keep doing it. And for you, dear viewer, the future is also bright for everybody. So we're going on a very short break. I hope by now you have subscribed. Cindy, also you can check us out across all our social media platforms. Check out our website, NewsunplugKE. Tuangalie kule, go see the news, and yeah, stay tuned, okay? Thank you. Welcome back, dear viewer. I hope by now you have actually subscribed. And moving on to our next story, there has been shock in Trans Nzoia County after a pupil was discovered dead. In fact, decomposing in a classroom. So there's this school in Trans Nzoia County, and this student was Treason Aliaka. She is 12 years and she has been missing for allegedly 2 months. And the school, or the people in the school, could smell some foul smell, and when they checked into the matter, they found out that there was actually in the ECD classrooms there was something that was really smelling bad, and they actually called a person to fumigate and to look into that, and they found that it was actually a child's body. And when the case was actually looked into, they found out that this pupil has been missing for 2 months, and she disappeared immediately after the class 6 exams. So when the parent was actually reached out, can you imagine what she said? The mother, she said that she assumed that this child, Teresa, had gone to visit the father. Is it not ironical? 2 months, ujui mtoto mali yako, and you're assuming alienda I mean, come on. Even if you don't have phones or something, a child is not something that you just play around with. What do you mean that for 2 months you assumed the child was with the father? So the police are actually checking into it to know who murdered this child, what was the motive of this murder, and what is happening. Actually, the school was closed so that they could be able to do the investigation and to check into this matter, as well as cleaning the place, and they will resume school on Monday next week. So I mean, I hope this will be, I hope they will be able to find also this. And kindly, a call out to all the mothers. I know we have mothers, parents watching us, and kindly, let us be very responsible about these children. I mean, these children are a blessing, bundle of joy, and honestly, we cannot be irresponsible, because the future of these children really, really looks, I mean, watoto wanatutegemea. And also, what's even more funny is that nobody had reported that this child had been missing. Not the relatives, not the community, not everybody. I mean, how do you live yet you do not know where the child is? Anyway, not to judge, but tell us, do you think it is right for you? Do you think the mom is actually on the right space, saying that she assumed the child had gone to the father? Talk to us and tell us what you think about that. Crossing over to Africa, international news. So, Congo River for the past 60 years has now gone to its maximum height. I mean, maximum level, or maximum, yeah. So it is past, the last time it was actually now, the last time they checked, it was 6.2 meters, just shy of 6.26 meters, which is the highest level that it has ever reached in a few years ago. So Congo River is actually flooded, and this is now causing a lot of chaos in Democratic Republic of Congo and Congo Republic. There are floods all over, and this has actually caused death of over 300 people, and a lot of families have been displaced. And especially in the capital city, Kinshasa, there has been a lot of chaos, a lot of floods, and even people are calling out to the government and asking them, hey, kindly check out this thing, because honestly, even with the climate change, it is even getting worse, because a lot of people, they do not even have the money. And actually, the capital city is just at the banks of the river. So you can imagine how terrible it is, because if that river breaks for a minute, it will be tough. And you can imagine capital cities hold a lot of businesses, accommodate a lot of people, and it is the face of the country. So you can imagine if tourists are coming and they're facing such challenges, I mean, it's going to be chaos. Also, it's a calling to everybody out there. Let us really look at the climate change. There have been a lot of seminars, a lot of websites, a lot of workshops about climate change. We really need to check about this, because we are the ones who are holding the future of this country and the future of our continent. Because Mother Nature does not necessarily need us. It is us to take care of Mother Nature. So according to everybody, let us look at the climate change. And I hope pia hii mwaka kutakuwa na mafuriko sana. Ama ni aje, si ndio? Tufurikiwe tu na blessings. On to our final story of the year, of this week, I mean, and it's still international. So, a Russian presidential who is actually hoping to challenge the Russian president Putin in the March 15th to 17th election, is actually opposing the move by the Moscow military officers to go into the war in Ukraine, which has been happening over and over again. I'm even wondering, when will this war stop? I mean, we know Russian are anything to do with war, be it from bombs to what, it's Russia who produces, and Russia is almost a superpower country when it comes to war. So he had a meeting on Thursday with the women, the soldiers' wives, who are actually suffering really much because their soldiers or their husbands have been in the war since last year, and they're actually asking the government, or asking the government really, to just displace these soldiers and at least put some soldiers under contract, because they have been in the war, and every time their wives are worried about them, because most of them are depending on their husbands, and their husbands are into the war. So it's daily, and considering the fact that their husbands are on the front line, you live with your heart on your hand, because you don't know what's happening. I mean, if your husband will survive, you don't know the future of the family and everything. So they were having a discussion, and I hope that the government will actually look into that. But the solution is just ending this war, because there's a lot that the soldiers can do other than just being on the front line of the war. And at least we say about work-life balance, they have to go have time with the family, right? I mean, family is the most important thing in human beings' life, and connection, love, and affection. It's actually one of the main needs according to Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Anyway, thank you so much, dear viewer, for being together with us. I'm hoping you're getting affection and love in this new year, and lots of it, abundance. You can follow us across all social media platforms at NewsunplugKE. Kindly do subscribe, like, share, and comment. We go as NewsunplugKE kila mahali. So please do follow us, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, everywhere. We will really appreciate it. You can also follow me and search me at Baby Cabs across all my social media platforms. Let us interact one-on-one. I'll be waiting for you. Thank you so much. Blessings.